I want to thank CuriosityStream for sponsoring this video. A couple of months ago, I filmed a video called Why Your Morning Routine Isn't Working, and you guys really enjoyed it. One of the things I mentioned in that video was that if you feel like your morning routine isn't working out, one of the things you could potentially consider is having themed morning routines or a weekly routine of morning routines. So why would you want to have multiple morning routines instead of just one? Well, there are a lot of reasons that may justify why this system may be better for you than simply having a single morning routine. First of all, you may work in shifts or have a variable schedule that simply doesn't work the exact same way every morning. You may be someone who has a tendency of not enjoying routines and feels that following the same steps every single morning is boring and not worth it. You may have a lot of activities to juggle in the morning, and committing yourself to do those activities every single day may be impossible because you're forced to cut corners in the quality and time spent actually working on them. The nice thing about having multiple morning routines is that while you're creating a morning routine that allows you to make time for yourself and start the day more slowly than just rushing out of the house, here you have the authority to pace yourself. There are some things that you may not be able to juggle on a weekly basis. There are things like eating breakfast and getting ready for the day that you'll have to repeat every single morning. That means that in spite of you adapting to a variable morning routine, you will have to know for sure what are the things that you'll have to manage every single day. This may look entirely different for a lot of people, so I'll not be listing the activities that should be fixed and variable. For instance, for me it's a given that I'll have to incorporate breakfast into my morning routine every single day, but I do know people that simply skip breakfast or eat breakfast at work. So you need to pick your personal tasks or chores that need to happen daily, and then you need to pick which tasks or activities that can be moved around. This will leave you with two lists. This is what you'll work with. And since we're talking about lists, I want to mention that there's actually a set of morning routine printables free with my lowest Patreon subscription that you can use to take the most out of this video. All details down in the description box. Mondays always feel a little bit dreadful, and you may use this first day of the week to either have a slow morning and select one or two activities that you enjoy the most, or just cut to the chase and dive in straight to those tasks you think you'll want to avoid during the week. I'm more of the second type, so usually on Monday mornings, I like to start working on scripts and research right after my morning workout, which gives me a head start for the rest of the week. On Fridays, I like to prepare for the weekend, and so I will do the cleanup and tidying in the morning after my workout and before I open my laptop. By this time, my weekend YouTube video has usually been uploaded, so I feel a lot of satisfaction from being able to clean and make sure I have a Friday night free of chores and start the weekend with a clean house. This is a fun one. Basically, you can prioritize something different in your life every single morning and organize your routine around that principle. For instance, your Mondays may be turned towards health. You may build a morning routine around exercising, meditating, and preparing a really good and healthy breakfast. Your Tuesdays may be turned towards intellect. You may wake up with a strong cup of coffee and dedicate your morning to reading, learning a new language, and writing. Your Wednesdays may be dedicated to fun and self-care. You may use Wednesdays as your spa or grooming days, paired with a nice long walk, listening to your favorite songs, and then playing some video games when you finish your walk. You know, you can come up with a million ideas to do this, and I'm sure this will make you look forward to your mornings a whole lot more. If you're using your morning routine to invest your time into more than one project, hobby, or side hustle, consider selecting specific days for each one of those projects or hobbies instead of trying to work on all of them every single day. The brain takes some time to get used to what it's doing at each given time. Every time you switch between tasks and projects, you're sacrificing a bit of brain power and are basically interrupting yourself from reaching max productivity and max creativity. If you have 1 hour every morning to spend working on multiple projects, consider using an entire hour for one project in a certain day, and then using another hour for another project in a different day. This is a better way to ensure you're totally invested in one thing because you're removing the other projects from your attentional space. So for instance, you can use 1 hour every Tuesday to make progress on a writing project, 1 hour on Wednesdays to design that website you've been thinking about for a long time, and use 1 hour every Thursday to read a technical book you've been trying to find the time to read. I think that part of the success of your morning routine has to do with the sequence you use to actually tackle your tasks. Some tasks don't pair well with each other, while others will. Experimenting with different combinations makes sure you find the sweet spot. For instance, I'm only able to work out in the morning because it's the first thing I do after I wake up. If I chose to sit down with a warm cup of tea and then started journaling or writing on my computer and worked out afterwards, I'm 100% positive I wouldn't work out on the long run. The whole workout, shower, breakfast right is the perfect sequence for me, and yours can look entirely different. Instead of accepting whatever someone tells you is the right way to organize your morning, just find out what works for you, especially because your sequence may look different in different days, according to how you have organized your energy and your daily activities. If you're watching this video, you're probably aware of most self-development and productivity classic morning routine activities. Eating a good breakfast, exercising, meditating, doing some sort of journaling, reading, or taking a walk. Even though these are all fantastic things to incorporate into your day, it's very overwhelming and actually very unrealistic to think you'll be able to find enough time in your morning to do all of these every single day of your life. I mean, if you have a kid, you'll probably feel lucky to actually accomplish one of these most mornings. So I think that we need to be more forgiving on ourselves and celebrate the small victories. If you have the space and the time to go for all the healthy habits because your life allows you to, that's great. And I think you should aim to continue with those habits. But if life is overwhelming and difficult, the last thing you want is to carry on your shoulders the burden of meditating, working out, and do morning pages every single morning. Some of these habits may be carried over to your evening routine. Others may be simply ignored in some days of the week, and you can build up your morning routine around those shifts and changes. And some habits may never be even picked up because they simply don't offer you enough benefits. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. This video is a companion to my latest morning routine video, so if you want to watch that video without the ads, as well as your favorite YouTube's educational and productivity videos, then you can start watching Nebula, which is an ad-free streaming video platform built by and for independent creators, like me, Thomas Frank, Ali Abdal, Study to Success, Legal, Real Engineering, and so on, featuring a bunch of exclusives and ad-free content you can't find anywhere else. And the more interesting thing about this opportunity is that we've teamed up with CuriosityStream. That means that with your CuriosityStream account, which is really affordable by the way, you get a completely free Nebula subscription. While Nebula is a platform for educational and content creators with your favorite YouTubers, CuriosityStream is a streaming service with thousands of documentaries and non-fiction titles, which also has its own deal for a limited time on their annual plan, with a 26% discount. I've been a lot into crime and true crime series, so Crime Scene Solvers has been the perfect docu-series to watch. And in case you want to watch it too, make sure you click the link down below to watch all of this great content for under $15 for a whole year. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next week. Bye guys!